So it's Katie again, and I kind of wanted to recap on my entire time here in Phoenix. So I did not go to the aquarium like I was wanting to. I thought that it would be a good idea to invite the friends of my others to come join me. I wanted to go look at fish. I wanted to have a good time. I wanted to go out to a bar afterward. It was going to be really exciting and fun, but it seems like the people who were able to come, well, I guess I can go down a list. The first person I was supposed to pick up fell asleep, so that was kind of a wasted time. I don't plan on meeting that person again. I want to say that 80% of all of yesterday was basically driving around. The only time that I was not driving was when I was actually with someone who I personally met named Bink. And I was at her place, and just with a lot of other things that happened over there, it's not like we were able to go out and do anything either. But before I made it to her, I met five other friends of my splits, and I just don't vibe well with any of them except Brad. Brad's cool, but Brad wasn't able to hang out. I don't know what he was doing. Oh, that's what it was. I don't know if he was busy. He probably was, but I also had to go out and do these stupid deliveries for Lydia. So I was out running around, driving around, doing these deliveries for Lydia, and I'm not calling you out on blast because I'm trying to be mean or anything. This is literally just a learning curve. This is just you and I don't vibe well. But I'm going to specifically point out one of Pixie's friends named Brad. No, named Chad. Chad is his name. My first time meeting him, he could immediately tell you're very different. I'm like, yeah. And I think it's maybe because of the look. He says that we look very differently. Um, but he is interested in things that I'm just not. While he was, the entire time we were driving and talking, he kept bringing up things that would pull the others out, or, that would be their interest. And again, this is my first day. Like, why are we hanging out and you're constantly talking about gaming with Pixie or things that Michaela wants? Asking for help with homework with Sky. Like, if you're going to hang out with any of us, it only makes sense to kind of respect who you're hanging out with. You have to know who you're talking to and get to kind of know us as individuals. I think the entire time, all he was doing was talking about the others, and and that's just because the things that I was interested in, the things that I would tell him about myself, he did not ever get involved in. He had like zero interest in anything that I wanted to do. So, he would naturally be someone I would never hang out with. Now I'm not saying you're a bad person. You're definitely not. You are personally not going to be one of my friends. And I think that's something that we need to get across the board to everybody, is that you can be friends with some of the other 18 and not be friends with one of us. In fact, I think a lot of you are only friends with like 4 of us max. I think that there's only a handful of you who have a specific heart emblem, and those are the ones who I reached out to because there's a certain heart emblem that means that you've been approved by everybody. You're cool. You're someone that I can trust, and I reached out to you guys. And a lot of you weren't in town or weren't able to come, which is fine. We didn't get to hang out. But the few of you, like the 6 of you that I actually did get to meet, you guys are not someone that I personally would want to hang out with. I feel like I am a very, very different personality. I am looking for friends who can be platonic. I don't want to have to constantly friend zone people. So I am a very, very spontaneous and in the moment personality. And I feel like whenever we are ourselves, everybody is basically like me too, except I'm more wild. Like yesterday I wanted to get my tongue pierced, but you can't just do walk-ins apparently because of this pandemic. That's another thing I want to rant off about. I've been gone for 2 years, and so I wake up, and like the best way I can describe it is kind of like that one movie, The Walkers or The Living Dead. I don't know, the zombie movie where the dude wakes up in a coma and he's like, "Holy shit, there's like a zombie apocalypse." That's basically what I feel like I walked in on because when I last like took off, there there were no issues, not even financially, not socially either. So the world. Another thing that I had been dealing with the entire time that I've been surfaced is I was reaching out to people, but then a lot of people would see my postings and reach out to me, but they didn't listen to anything I said. They didn't know what I was going through. They didn't know that I was new in town. Um, I was under the impression that this Snapchat account was to remain completely platonic. Any weirdness, anyone flirting or wanting the 18 plus content, adult content stuff would go to a completely separate account. And at one point, that's exactly the system that we had. But I guess Meridia keeps getting her private accounts blocked, so she had to start putting her fans through here temporarily. I don't know. She needs to open up another Snapchat account or something because the entire time I was just like, I'm not one of the thoughts. There's a couple reasons that is made clear as to why I have not surfaced up in so long. The last few times that I surfaced up was earlier in 2019 when um, I would hang out with a group of friends. And a lot of stuff happened. Those friends were no longer around anymore. We ended up moving. There's just a lot of drama that was attached to it. So if you guys know about it, the friends who have known us for years, it was the Colton situation. So you'll know about that dude who brainwashed us to believing that we were dating for him. It was stupid. But I got to thinking like, wow, I have like no friends here. Like the rest of you who have talked to the others, yeah, you guys are friends with some of them, but okay, so apparently, like, I might be cross-eyed or something. I don't know. Or maybe it is the way I do my makeup. I don't know. But I guess it's pretty predominant to distract and bring out the others. I got to thinking about what other reasons have I not been able to surface. And it seems like everything that I want to do, because I am someone who is on like a spur of the moment, like I'm an event goer. So I guess we kind of have to have just funds to just throw out the window so it can afford my fun time. Like I apparently am not easily entertained without like going out. I don't know. No, that can't be true either because I am 100% down with watching movies with people. Having people over for game nights and stuff. That's another thing that we don't do. I think it's just because we just don't have like good friends that can just come over, or maybe we don't have the house ready to have friends over. I'm not sure. And then another thing is all my clothes, all my belongings are still in Oklahoma, and it's been almost. And I say good friends. I should correct myself and say friends that I would consider friends. I actually ended up reaching out to a couple people who like I remembered. And it reminded me that I did lose a friend. So, I kind of forgotten about it. It's been a while. I think yesterday I had said the last time that I had bought this was like after graduating, and that was in 2012. And I thought that's really weird that I was gone for that long because I came back in 2019. Um, but I reached out to my friend Dylan. He was my best friend in high school. And then I also had another really close friend named Jacob. And I I wanted to send him a message, and then I pulled him up on Facebook, and I realized, oh, that's right. He, so I think that maybe losing him was something very significant to me, to where I did go away for a while, but that was only because I think during that time someone else took over, and let's see, 2012. This is Meridia. There's been a switch. I had to kind of figure out where she left off at, because I definitely think I took over. And I was a leasing agent, and then I moved states with my boyfriend at the time. So she was no longer with us until 2019. She's had a rough time. In fact, she does not like any of my fans, so fans, leave her. So I'm just gonna take over and touch base just a little, and then I'll give her back on. But for my fans with my feed, the previous account that I used to have, it did get closed down. It actually got shut down 2 times. So I have a hard time trusting Snapchat, and so you guys know who I am. If you've ever messaged me, I always respond. We talk all the time. So it does bother me that some of you have disregarded like my warnings, and are all of us telling you like they have different comfort levels. Rhea has reminded several of you. I have reminded several of you. Specifically, River has come out a few times. So the ones who are in my private feed know how to communicate with us. I've had to completely switch over to other platforms, and I'm still kind of working out the kinks right now. I am currently going through quite a bit of medical issues. All of my fans should know that I have a huge tumor inside of me right here that needs to be removed. I am the only one who has this problem. It can rupture any second, so to keep our full body safe and me not have to continuously go through this pain, the others have stepped forward and taken over, especially Pixie. Pixie's been doing a really good job. Pixie 19, of course. If you're familiar with Pixie, she's an age slider. She has a 14-year-old side and a 19-year-old side. So she's very bubbly, perky, super very happy. But the constant flirting or very aggressive, like sit on my face and do shit with me, needs to stop here. Like, you guys know. So I actually had one of my very first encounters of someone from our past reaching out to me. This is something that everybody else has had to go through, and everybody else has experienced it, but this is a first for me. I had someone reach out to me, send me a picture of us hanging out, and I didn't even know who she was. I knew of her, but I never hang out with her. Like, she says that the one she thinks who hung out with her must have been Pixie, and the way that she described her, like bubbly, energetic, and retarded, that totally sounds like her. She didn't say that last part, but I'm just saying that is her. And it would make sense. It's either one of two girls that I can think of, either Meridia or Pixie, because they always want girlfriends. My friends were typically guys, but see, that's kind of an issue, because I stopped surfacing because as we got older, it's really hard to just have platonic guy friends. I think that whenever I would think that I could probably have friends, they would surface Meridia on accident because they were flirting. They wanted to push more. Oh, you're single? You know, and like when you cross that line, I disappear. I'm just like, ugh. You know, or if I'm extremely prominent, like I'll say something. I'd be like, I'm not interested in you, and I don't want to hang out with you anymore. Yeah, I don't know. Just I have a very, very low tolerance when it comes to thirsty guys that I don't know. If unless we're friends, fuck off. Like I'm not romantically interested in anything you have to offer unless we've become friends. So this is Pixie, and I kind of wanted to explain like our system of communication because obviously we all have different memories. And so in order to communicate whose person belongs to who with a shared Snapchat account, we put our own symbols next to it. So a lot of the people that Katie had to deal with are we call them the lookers. They're the like next to them whenever they message us, they're the people who only message pictures when they like see shit like this and they're like, "Oh, you're so hot." But they don't ever listen to anything that we say. So we put the like looky eyes on their name. So we edit people's names as they come talk to us. Depending on what you as viewers message us determines on who's going to take over. And then there's some of you with a heart with like a ribbon on it, and that to us indicates that you are a special person that everyone approves of. Like there's no way that you could possibly offend anybody because it is platonic. You are aware of us having split personalities. You aren't trying to get into our pants, things like that. Um, but I guess there's a flaw to that because just like we experienced today with Katie, she doesn't particularly click really well with our friends. So she can have her own friends and we kind of need to not assume that our others will enjoy the same people that we enjoy. So I'm sorry if you and Katie clashed and didn't mix well. Um, Obviously, the things that she's into, no, like every. So our system isn't completely perfected, but we're working on it. And I do want to end on a good note that today was a lot better. I had a really shitty few hours, but I went shopping. I actually had my stuff bought for me. Um, it was by someone who the others knew, and I had never met this person before. So I hope that I didn't come off as completely mean and whiny. I'm not. But I definitely did not like yesterday. So I want to say thank you for making me, I'm going to say that normally when we're normal and happy, shopping with us as a whole, we get a lot because we have such very, very different tastes in clothes and styles. So while I was shopping looking for things that I liked, things that I'm like, okay, I can see myself wearing this, like everything else doesn't look good to me. But there are a few things that will catch one of my other's eyes and they'll be like, oh my god, I need this. And I'm just like, go away. Like, this is not your time for shopping. So, like, I would see these things that I would know, like, okay, so and so would like this, so and so would like this. But it just, like, it's not that I pushed them away. I was just like, and they're like, oh, yeah, sorry. So they backed off. But we love shopping. I mean, that's definitely one way to help. I'm gonna end on this as the last snap. I am currently looking for some friends. If you are not tempted to want to stick your penis inside me, then we could definitely be friends. If you're female, I think that the others might surface up to want to be your friends for some reason. The only friends that I can think of are just guys. So maybe I would be considered more of a tomboy. Um, I'm not sure. I mean, I love being with friends in group settings. I think that's a huge pointer, is that the only way that I'm comfortable with hanging out with anybody is in a group setting. I don't typically hang out one-on-one with guys because, again, like I said earlier, it surfaces Meridia because they try to. Okay, I take that back. There are girls that I will hang out with, but they're really cool. Like, they're super chill. So, I have a type of friends that I need to vibe with. You guys, I don't know. There's some really high strung people, and I know that I kind of came off as that too, but I was just thrown into really high stress situations, and this was a lot for me. So, I hope that I can find some friends here in Phoenix. In Phoenix, if you guys are local in Phoenix and you want to hang out and chill, that's cool. I don't know when the next time I'll be out though, so this is like day 2 for me. So I just got to thinking. So I don't know how long I'll stay. I don't know if I'm going to be gone for another few years or what. But I know that I have expensive habits. Like I need to get a job. Everyone else has their jobs. Um, what the heck am I good at? Like, because I definitely couldn't work in the adult industry like they do. I am the worst at selling, um, and like picking up for Lydia, because quite literally I only met with one person and I just gave him the treats. I didn't even take money. I was just like, here you go, here, take all of them. I gave him everything. I was like, okay, like, and I bet you guys didn't even think about it, about how difficult it is for people with split personalities to get a job. Whatever I do, it will not be a 9 to 5 job, because I don't know if you can tell, like, it's not that we're spacey, it's just that we're switchy. And so it needs to be something around the house. I need to be able to do something from home. Um, when I figure out my purpose, I'll update you guys, or someone else will, but I will be talented in doing something. Everyone else is so good at what they do. Um, so yeah, I can't just be the one who comes out and spends everybody's money. I want to be doing something too.